trying to do a Blair Witch kind of thing. Is it working? Do I look scary? Today I decided that in the spirit of Halloween, I would tell you guys the scariest thing that's ever happened to me. The thing that left me the most shooketh. I was scared, okay? I was really scared. Hear that? Let's jump straight in. When I was in my 20s, early 20s, many moons ago, because I've been walking on this planet for a long time, my girlfriends and I decided that we would go away for the weekend. So we booked a house in a little town just outside of Cape Town called Betty's Bay. Betty's Bay is a seaside kind of town, so there's not a lot of buildings, lots of gravel roads, and you're close to the beach. It's actually the most amazing place to just go and chill, which was our intent. We arrived there on Friday night, and our boyfriends had decided to piggyback on the fact that we were going away, so they booked a house as well in Betty's Bay. But we didn't know where they were staying. We later found out that they just a few doors down from us. Eating, drinking, laughing, dancing was most amazing. Just hanging out. At about 10 in the evening, there was a knock on our door. And I just assumed that it was one of the guys. Maybe they had come and said that they forgot something. So I just went to the door and opened up. And as I opened, there was, I swear, the creepiest lady I've ever seen in my life standing at the door. She was pale, with like dripping wet hair. But she was relatively dry. It's been raining that day. But she was relatively dry. She had on a black t-shirt, blue jeans, and she had these boots on, these safety boots. And they were relatively clean. And she looked scary. So anyway, I was trying to get rid of her because she was creepy looking. So she told me that her boyfriend and her had this big fight, and he had kicked her out of the car, and now she's struggling to get home. She lives in Marinda Road, and do I know where Marinda Road is? And I didn't, because I wasn't from Betty's Bay. So I kept telling her, I don't live here, lady. We're just renting the house. I don't know where Marinda Road is. And she was insistent. She kept repeating, do you know where Marinda Road is? And I'm like, I don't. Eventually I thought that the only way for me to get rid of her was to explain how to get to the main road, because I figured her chances of finding someone who knew where Marinda Road was on the main road. So I give her directions to what I think to where the main road is. So, turn left, whatever. And I close the door. We go back to partying hard, laughing, dancing, music is loud, singing. It was great. At some point in the night, and it was really late, probably like 2-3 o'clock, we decided in all our wisdom that we would go down to where the guys are staying and, to try and scare them, knock on the doors and the windows and make it seem all scary. So we run down the road, and bear in mind, it had been raining the whole evening, and the roads were gravel. So it was very messy. Knocked on the doors and then ran back. We didn't tell everybody in our group that we were going. So there were 2 or 3 of the ladies that got left behind. And when they came out and saw all of us gone, they locked up, which is the responsible thing to do. They locked up. So by the time we got back to the house, everything was locked up, and we were, laughing with them. And they were like, no, we can't come in. They've locked us out. And while we were standing there, I had this uneasy feeling that someone was watching me. I was right at the back of the group, and I just felt eyes on me. I don't know. You must know that feeling. And I turned around, and who do you think was just standing behind me? Yes, the lady looking for Marinda Road. She was just standing there. Anyway, everybody else turned around and screamed because none of us were expecting to see anybody at that time in the evening. So she turns and she points at me and says, "The lady in the red t-shirt." That was me. She told me where to go, and I ended up back here. And I'm like, oh Lord, tonight is the night to die. I was so terrified. And I was looking at her, and she looked exactly the same. Her hair still looked sopping wet. She was still unusually dry, and her safety boots were unusually clean. As I said before, we ran down the road, the same road that I had directed her to walk down, and we were filled with dirty, muddy kind of water. She was perfectly clean. I was terrified. Anyway, we banged on the door. Our friends eventually let us in, and when I turned around, the lady was gone. She was just missing. We had then thought of asking the people we had rented from if they know this lady, if they know where Marinda Road is, if they know about a lady that if she managed to find them. But we were too afraid. We were too scared they were going to tell us that, that lady died like 50 years ago, and so yeah, we didn't ask. The moral of the story here is don't give directions if you don't know where you're sending people. They come back.